Okay, so now let's go and make a little HUD where we can print out some camera information down here at the bottom, just so you can easily see what the focus distance is, what the focal length is, and we'll put time code over here as well. So let's hop back into our 4up. Let's get another image here. Let's drag it down to our panel. We'll put it to the bottom and we'll spread it out. Take the tint color. Let's pull it a little darker here. Let's call this HUD gray, like so. Then we're going to get a bunch of text fields. So text, pull it down here. There we go. And this is going to be called, let's do focal length. Oh, let's drop it. There we go. It's all big. Let's get it down. Let's put a colon after it. There we go. Let's copy. And this will be focus distance. Let's put that to the center. Let's name this a little better. TX label. Okay. And then TX label gray. There we are. And then we'll have to nudge these things around, but it's okay. And this. And lastly, let's go code. Come on. Time code. And I'll put this to the right. Let's back this up a little bit. Before we get too far, since we're kind of building up a pretty good list here, let's put all this under an overlay so that we can easily make the 4 views when that time comes. So drop an overlay in here, this here, grab everything, put it in the overlay. There we go. Make sure that's full screen. Okay, that's better. Now, let's go here and let's move the time code over. Alright, and then this one, I don't know, we'll see. Once we get the actual things in here, we'll have to figure it out. Let's move this back. Okay, now let's put some text fields in that we can dynamically bind the information to. So let's copy this here, and then we'll call this TX focal length gray. To move this up there. And then TX focal distance gray. And this will be we need to rename that. Crimco gray, and let's go get this. This is poorly named. TC. Okay. Awesome. Compile. Now I'll go over here and we need to get some of this information out of here. So from the Cine camera, let's get the component of it. We'll do it a different way here just to spice things up. So let's go get root component of the actor. And then from there, let's get child components. There we go. And now, so what this is going to do is this is going to get all the child components of the actor. And if there were multiple on there, what we're going to do here is we're going to cast to a Cine camera component just to make sure that we have what we want. So a cast to will just, basically filter everything out. So if, say, you were looping through a list and that list had spheres and cine cameras and all sorts of different data types, this cast will throw away everything that is not a cine camera component. And you can get to that stuff in the cast field, and the cast success will be the cine camera component. So there we go. We'll plug that in, and then let's promote to a variable, and we'll call this a gray camera. There we go. So now we've put that into our gray camera. Then to get time code, let's go up here and let's go event tick. And then from here, we want to get time code, and you want it from the provider time management. There you go. Not the provider time management. And then let's convert this to a string, code to string. And then let's promote this to a variable as well. And we'll call this type code. All right. So the logic for this is on tick. It's going to get the time code. It's going to convert it to a string, and it's going to feed it into this time code variable that we have here. Compile. Now time code. You go into your project settings. You type time code. So I just have mine currently set to system time. But if you had like a Blackmagic or an Azure card, you could set it there. Also, if you have a media profile, that's not media profile. That's media profile. If you have a media profile, you can go get it from there. Or like LiveLink, if you're running time code from like Mobu or something, you can bring time code in that way through LiveLink. But we're just going to run for system time right now. And we compiled that. Let's go over here and bind them first. Okay. So now focal length. Let's move this over a touch. Let's go to 25. Oh, a lot more. So here, if you go to bind, now we see our variables over here, and you can bind. So gray camera, we want focal length. So let's go to current focal length. And then for focus distance, let's move this again. Zero it out. Yeah. Here we go, bind. Okay, focus distance. And then for time code, I think we're going to have to move this back. And let's to type code. Okay. Now let's compile. And we see we have our time code and it needs to be moved over. That's okay. And now we picked our camera and we see that we have focal length and we have focus distance here. And what's cool about this is dynamic. So if you go and you change the focus distance, you see that the number here in the HUD has changed. So you don't have to go, kind of change it and recompile and change it and recompile and change it and recompile. It's nice. And let's just this just in case. Cool. Got it. Awesome. So let's just go back here and move this because it's going to bother me. There you go. That's awesome. So now we have a updating HUD. And when we come back, lastly, what we're going to do is we're going to add a widget switcher, and we're going to add an ability to be able to adjust the resolution of this render target, just in case you're running into any performance problems on stage. We want to try and avoid diving into the assets as much as possible. You want to be able to work fast. And also, if somebody doesn't necessarily understand this setup, they can just hit one button and get going. So we'll come back and do that.